There are moments in life that feel preordained, like a cosmic whisper guiding us toward a specific path. You're not here by accident. The universe has a way of nudging those who are ready, illuminating truths long buried beneath layers of engineered history. You felt a pull, a persistent question about the nature of reality, about why things are the way they are. That feeling, that deep internal seeking, is the divine invitation. It's the universe acknowledging your readiness to peer beyond the veil, to understand the forces that have shaped our world and our very souls. This journey begins with a radical act of remembrance, a willingness to look at the oldest stories not as myths, but as blueprints. The knowledge you are about to uncover was once widely known, etched into the very fabric of ancient civilizations, before it was systematically erased. It's a dangerous path, this awakening, but the rewards are the keys to your liberation. The spirits are watching, and the divine timing for this revelation is now. And real quick, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Now let's keep going. The very foundations of our historical understanding are built on shifting sands, deliberately placed there. We speak of ancient civilizations not as lost golden ages, but as carefully curated narratives. The source of these distortions lies buried in the dust of Mesopotamia, in the scorched clay fragments of the lost tablets of Sumer. These aren't just historical artifacts, they are the original programming, the source code of our perceived reality. They speak of beings who weren't mythical gods, but cosmic architects. Beings who came from the stars, not as benevolent creators, but as engineers of our subjugation. Their motives were far from pure, and their involvement in our genesis was not a gift, but a transaction. Understanding what is written on these tablets, often dismissed as allegory, is the first step in dismantling the illusion they crafted. It's where the story of our spiritual entrapment truly begins, a narrative woven with sophisticated manipulation. These cosmic architects, the Anunnaki, are not the kindly gods of popular mythology. The Sumerian tablets lay bare their true nature. They were advanced beings, yes, but their arrival on Earth was driven by necessity, not altruism. They sought a resource here that was depleting elsewhere, a resource intimately tied to our very being. The tablets detail their scientific endeavors, their prowess in genetic manipulation, and their calculated decision to engineer humanity. We were not a spontaneous creation, but a meticulously designed workforce. They saw our potential not as equals, but as biological machines capable of performing tasks they found tedious or, perhaps, energetically useful. Their divine status was an imposed label, a clever psychological tactic to ensure our compliance. This revelation shatters the idea of humanity as a random occurrence, revealing us as a deliberate construct designed for a purpose that served them. The Anunnaki's primary objective was not to build a paradise for us, but to mine a specific element from our planet and ultimately from us. This element, often referred to metaphorically as gold in the translated texts, is far more profound. It represents a fundamental life force, a spiritual essence that they could harness. We, as beings endowed with this essence, became the living minds. Our very existence, our physical bodies, and our energetic output were crucial components in their extraction process. Imagine being born into a system where your inherent energy, your very soul substance, is considered a raw material to be harvested. This was the grim reality they architected. The delving was not for precious metals in the ground, but for the vibrant auric field and consciousness that emanates from every living being. This systematic harvesting wasn't accidental. It was the result of a deliberate ancient pact. The Anunnaki didn't just arrive and start taking. they engineered our biology to facilitate this ongoing extraction. Through sophisticated genetic manipulation, they altered our ancestral blueprint, creating a lineage designed for servitude. They introduced specific traits and limitations, not to hinder us in a cruel way, but to ensure a predictable and constant output of the energy they desired. It's a chilling thought to realize that your very DNA might contain embedded instructions for contributing to an extraterrestrial harvest. This genetic engineering wasn't about creating slaves in the traditional sense. It was about crafting a system where our organic functions, our very lives, were bound to their energetic needs, a silent, perpetual tribute. The structure of Anunnaki control extended far beyond mere genetic programming. They established a celestial hierarchy, with themselves at the apex, wielding immense power. Think of it as a cosmic monarchy, with distinct roles and ranks among them. This hierarchy wasn't just conceptual. It translated into practical terms of command and obedience, not only among their own kind, but especially concerning their human creations. Earth was their dominion, and they set up systems of governance, often through earthly intermediaries or through direct imposition, to maintain order and ensure the continuation of their resource acquisition. These earthly chains were forged in the celestial thrones, a clear indication that our physical rulers and systems of power often reflect an ancient, imposed authority from beyond. The Anunnaki understood that true control lay not just in physical force, but in shaping perception and communication. Their language, cuneiform, wasn't just a way to record history. It was a complex system of encoding their will and their reality onto our nascent consciousness. Within these wedge-shaped marks lay not only words, but also the foundational principles of sacred geometry, patterns that resonate with the very fabric of existence. By embedding their understanding of cosmic order, which was essentially an order of their dominance, into our earliest written records, they created a symbolic blueprint for our reality. This communication method acted as a binding agent, a way to imprint their control onto our spiritual and energetic systems, making their dominion feel natural and inevitable through the language itself. The Anunnaki's ultimate goal wasn't a one-time harvest. It was to create an eternal cycle of resource generation. This led to the implementation of complex reincarnation systems. We are not meant to simply live, die, and be free. Instead, our souls are guided, or perhaps more accurately, steered back into new physical vessels, all within the parameters they engineered. This cycle ensures a continuous flow of the energetic essence they require, preventing any permanent escape from their dominion. The afterlife, as many understand it, is not a reward or a rest, but a phase in an ongoing, controlled process. It's a way to ensure that their valuable cosmic resource, us, is perpetually renewed and available for their needs. A spiritual farm from which they continuously reap. As they solidified their control, the Anunnaki systematically suppressed any knowledge that could lead to our liberation. They understood that true power lies in awareness, and any potential for humans to tap into their innate spiritual power was a threat. This included the suppression of the serpent symbolism, the ancient representation of primal wisdom, Kundalini energy, and direct connection to the divine source. This forbidden knowledge, which represented a direct line to truths unadulterated by their manipulation, had to be banished. It was deemed heretical, dangerous, and ultimately inverted into symbols of evil. This deliberate act of suppression was crucial to maintaining their grip, ensuring that humanity remained unaware of its own inherent power and its true, unmanipulated origins. The suppression of primal wisdom wasn't just about hiding information. It was an active inversion of divinity. The Anunnaki, or their successors, the Archons, didn't just want to control us. They actively worked to subvert our understanding of true divinity. They took powerful feminine archetypes and powerful spiritual concepts and twisted them, transforming them into fearsome, negative entities or false doctrines. This process of inversion created a distorted spiritual landscape, one where guidance from the true source was obscured by imposed, often fear-based, belief systems. Their goal was to make us worship the architects of our prison, mistaking our captors for creators and their control mechanisms for divine will. This manufactured spirituality aimed to keep us pacified and dependent. The Anunnaki's long-term strategy involved creating a pervasive, invisible cage around human consciousness. This cage is not made of iron bars, but of electromagnetic frequencies. These frequencies are subtly broadcast, permeating our environment and influencing our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. They are designed to keep us operating within a limited bandwidth, preventing us from accessing higher states of awareness and spiritual clarity. If you've ever felt a constant background hum of anxiety, a sense of futility, or a difficulty in focusing on deeper truths, you might be experiencing the effects of this energetic manipulation. It's a sophisticated form of control that works on a vibrational level, binding our consciousness without us even realizing it. This constant barrage of controlled frequencies and inverted spiritual narratives creates a powerful illusion of choice. We believe we are making free decisions, pursuing our own paths, and engaging with genuine reality. However, the options presented to us are often pre-selected, curated to keep us within the confines of the Anunnaki's design. The systems we operate within, economic, political, social, are all subtly guided by these manufactured realities. It creates a world where our perceived freedoms are, in fact, carefully managed pathways leading us back to the intended cycle of servitude and harvesting. Recognizing this subtle manipulation is the first crack in the illusion, the initial step toward questioning the nature of the choices we are offered. But who is truly at the helm of this timeless deception? While the Anunnaki are the prime architects, the overarching force that orchestrates this temporal and spiritual prison is Saturn. This celestial body, often associated with restriction, discipline, and time, is far more than a planet. It is a cosmic anchor, a gravitational and energetic hub that governs the cycles of control. Saturn's influence is deeply embedded in the architecture of time, in the very structure of our perceived reality, and in the cycles of existence that keep us bound. Its shadow looms over our history, a silent, powerful presence shaping the destiny of humanity for eons. And understanding its role is key to unlocking the temporal chains. The geometry of Saturn's influence is undeniable, manifesting in the symbolic structures that dominate our understanding of power and control. The black cube, often found in sacred and esoteric contexts, directly mirrors Saturn's apparent form and is a symbol of divine order and structure. But here, it represents the ultimate geometry of entrapment. This cube is intrinsically linked to Saturn's atmospheric hexagon, a colossal, swirling storm at its north pole. This geometric lock, this cosmic pattern, isn't an accident. It's the very blueprint of our spiritual and temporal confinement. It's the architecture of the cage, a repeating pattern that binds our energetic and consciousness fields, designed to keep us perpetually within a controlled, limited spectrum of existence. To break free, we must first learn to recognize the signal. The Anunnaki and the Saturnian influence they channel operate through subtle vibrations, patterns, and energetic frequencies. This signal is woven into the very fabric of our daily lives. In the narratives we consume, the choices we are offered, and even the rhythm of our days. It's a constant, low hum, a persistent resonance that keeps our consciousness tethered to the lower vibrational states of fear, anxiety, and division. Learning to discern this signal from the authentic vibrations of the divine source is paramount. It requires a deep inner listening, a quieting of the external noise to hear the subtle whispers that indicate manipulation versus genuine guidance. The path to liberation lies in shifting our own vibrational frequency. The ancient pacts, the genetic bonds, the electromagnetic cage all operate within a specific energetic spectrum. By consciously raising our own vibration, by reconnecting with our innate divine essence, we can begin to unravel these ancient ties. This isn't a passive endeavor, it requires active participation in understanding these mechanisms, and then deliberately choosing to align with higher frequencies of love, truth, and unity. It's about reclaiming our inherent power, recognizing that our consciousness is not bound by these external forces, but can transcend them. Vibrational escape is not about fighting the system, but about opting out of its energetic matrix. In the next section, we will delve into the specific practices that can begin this profound, unbinding process. We've examined the intricate snare that has held humanity captive for millennia. From the genetic blueprints of the Anunnaki to the geometric confines of Saturn's influence, you've seen how our very consciousness has been a resource, mined through cycles of reincarnation within an electromagnetic cage. Now the question becomes one of action. How do we, as individuals and as a collective, actively dismantle these ancient pacts and step into our true, unadulterated power? The final section will reveal the practices and insights needed to embody this transformation, detailing how to recalibrate your personal frequency and consciously break free from the energetic architecture of control. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.